I don't know if the rest of you noticed, but the closer it gets to the holidays, the crazier these kids get.
I know. I didn't get to half the stuff I intended to this morning. I was dealing with behavior problems all day.
3 more weeks till we get a break. We just gotta survive.
Survive? Surviving will be difficult at best when we have to sit through garbage like this. Did anyone else see what's on the agenda for the next staff meeting? Cultural proficiency. And I am so tired of this getting shoved down our throat.
I know! We're just gonna end up sitting in some room, listening to someone tell us we're racist and we need to change our ways. I don't appreciate being judged like that.
Well, what about me? I'm not even white. I mean, why do I have to sit through this? I mean, if you have to live it, you don't have to be trained on it, duh.
But what about teachers like me? I don't even have any minority kids in my classroom. Matter of fact, I'm the only minority. Why do I have to sit through all this?
You know what I think the district should do with the money? You ought to spend it on something useful, like improved instruction and learning, instead of trying to make us appreciate everybody. Besides, I don't even see color in my classroom.
I guess I'll be sure to bring some papers to grade. If I have to sit there all day, I might as well have something to keep myself occupied.
This will probably be phased out just like everything else in the district. Just give it a year or 2.
True. Oh, and look at the clock. It's time to go pick up the kids.
Already? Man, the time goes by faster every day. Well, have a great afternoon, everybody.
Let's hope the second half of the day goes as quick as the first.
You know, Ryan, I'm not really sure about all this cultural proficiency stuff either. You are probably right, it's gonna be more work, but I'm kind of interested in it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I know where my kids come from and who they are gonna help shape the type of learner that they're gonna be. But it's so much more than that. For example, can I tell you about this kid?
I'm listening.
Okay, well, you remember little Darius, right? Tall, skinny kid, always had a bad attitude, never turned in any of his work.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He was lazy. It didn't matter what I tried, that kid never did his work.
Yeah, well, I thought the same thing. Until that lazy kid came to talk to me after school one day.
And?
Well, he explained to me about how his mom works 2 different jobs, and he always has to help her out a lot.
What's that got to do with getting your work done? I mean, lots of kids have to go home and help out after school.
Yeah, well, it's more than just helping her out. I mean, besides being responsible for himself, he had to take care of his 2 younger siblings. And then he had to help some nights with his baby brother or help his sister with her homework. He barely had time to sleep, let alone think about school. I really need you to take me seriously here, Ryan. Darius would come tell me about how scared he was of the violence around his house, but he can't show that in front of his brother or sister. I mean, they might think that he's weak. It started to make me realize that he was dealing with so much stuff, and what was I really asking of him?
Wow. I had no idea. I guess I never really took the time to talk to him. But still, with most kids like that, I know they're going through something. And I understand all that about how their home life affects how they perform at school. But that's still no reason to not get your work done.
Look, you both make excellent points. But don't you see? Cultural proficiency is about more than just being empathetic towards students. It's about understanding the very notion of what family really is. For example, I was so frustrated with this parent last year. She wouldn't come to any school event, she wouldn't return any of my phone calls, and on top of that, her daughter was struggling in my class, and of course I wasn't getting any help from anybody. So finally, I went to see the principal. She knew the family really well, and I figured she could at least give me some insight. Well, that she did. Turns out that mom had been taking care of her brother, who'd been in a really bad car accident. She was already missing several days of work and was told she'd be fired if she missed any more. As if that wasn't enough, she told the principal she wasn't good at anything when she was in school. As a matter of fact, all she had was bad memories from her time there.
Yeah, but...
And here's the final straw. She felt that teachers at this school talked down to her. You know, I started to wonder if I was one of those teachers. And I realized at that very moment that I had the power to change her view about education and get her daughter the help she needed.
Those are some good points, Dana. And it does make me think about some of the parents I've dealt with in the past. Maybe I should have tried a little harder. But it still sounds like a bunch of human relations stuff to me, though.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those are all good examples, but we are missing what is at the core of all this. Look, Ryan, you were just saying we need to spend more time on teaching and learning. Look, cultural proficiency isn't just about who we teach, it's about what we teach and how we teach it.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
Let me ask you this. What did the women's suffrage movement do?
It gave women the right to vote.
But so my mama could vote? This is not a trick question. So, tell me, who did it give the right to vote?
I guess white women.
So you were taught the women's suffrage only gave white women the right to vote?
Well, of course not. Nobody said that. They just said women.
Exactly. Now, what if that was one of your students that asked you the same question, you gave them the same answer? Would you be telling them the truth?
No, I wouldn't.
Now, imagine if that student was black. What message would that send to him? Now, even though you wouldn't be intentionally giving him the wrong information, you are doing just that by the narrative you leave out.
I get it. So what we don't teach our kids communicates just as much as what we do.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Does that also apply to colleagues?
Maybe. Explain what you mean.
Well, I was just thinking about Mr. Newman. I overheard a couple teachers talking about how he gets to school in the morning right before the bell and how he leaves right after school, and he never participates in any committees. And, you know, they're basically saying that he does just enough to get by.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, here's the thing. I was talking to Mr. Newman last week, and he was telling me how him and his wife have this deal that they get home as soon as they can after school, so that way they can spend family time before the kids go to bed. But he's up till midnight most nights trying to get schoolwork done. And he also mentioned how he's trying to sharpen his teaching skills so he doesn't really have time for much else. So I got to thinking, do those people that I overheard, they know that about him? And if they did, would that change their attitude?
You know, I hadn't even thought of that. Absolutely.
All right, Andre, you got me. We are supposed to be learning and making ourselves better educators. And now that I think about it, and I can see it more clearly, I think I'm gonna have to give this cultural proficiency thing a chance. As a matter of fact, I think I have to, but I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna tell others to give it a chance too, because we're all in this together. We'll see you later.